All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the USA, and God bless you this morning. I want to say a great big thank you to our judges, Mr. Jeff Williams, Buster McClary. Thank you guys. You have had a tough weekend out here with this judging, and watching these individuals has been a lot of fun and very educational because of the way each colt differs. I want to say a great big thank you to our donors. That would be Mr. Steve Sykes, Sykes Land Service Incorporated, J.M. Birdwell, Michael Nixon, David Williams, and Rocking J.M. Performance Horses. Thank you all very much. Now, I've labeled these pins number 1, 2, and 3, going from the east to the west. In pin number 1, we're going to have Mr. Clint Gregory. In pin number 2, Gavin Duncan, and down there on the end is Mr. Taylor Coon in pin number 3. Steve's going to make sure the judges are ready. And go. All right, we are ready to go, our contestants. Now, they've each had 2 hours with their horses on Thursday and Friday. So this morning, they get 1 hour. We'll get things switched out and go to the next set of colts and the next set of our contestants. We'll take a short break for lunch. We'll come back at 1 o'clock with the finals on the dot. 1 o'clock on the dot with the finals. And as soon as the finals are over, we will have the auction following up with that. You'll need to get your bidder numbers, and they've got the programs that have the pedigrees on these fillies. And I do want you to pay note and pay attention to those pedigrees. These are some great, great fillies. Now, you notice each one of these guys starting out with a little bit of groundwork. I talked all 3 days about trust, and it's building that trust, and they're wanting them to kind of move out a little bit, loosen up their feet. Looking pretty good. Watch the buckskin down there with Taylor, and he's going to move her out the other way around, and then when he wants her to stop, he wants her to turn and look, and that's what she's been doing. Gatlin in the pin number 2 doing the same thing, all 3 of them. They're just kind of taking these colts back where they left off yesterday. The ideal situation is to leave them in a place that is good to move on to the next day with, and that's what they've done. Each one of these individuals having a lot of patience with these colts. Not trying to rush anything. And it's also, as we said before, Mr. Brent has said that it's about the next move that they're going to make, taking them through to that next move. Taylor getting the halter on in pin 3, Gavin working on it, getting right there in pin 2. Clint Gregory getting close as well. huge differences from when we first started with these colts on Thursday morning. This was the first time that the colts had been brought to town. Mr. Brent put them all on a level playing field, but our contestants had never seen the horses and never worked with them until we started Thursday morning. See Taylor down there with the buckskin and kind of working that flag around her. Gatlin in a pin number 2, doing the same thing, but he's using it away from the colt. And again, it's up to each individual what they feel like is going to get the best response out of their particular animal. Gatlin in the center using that lariat rope, just kind of brushing her around with it, letting her feel it. Taylor, he's using the saddle pad. Gatlin's putting that rope around there all the way back to the flank area on the butt. She's taking it very, very well. So is the little buckskin. Taylor down on pin number 3. Got the saddle introduced. You'll notice that Gatlin putting that loop and using it again on the feet. Like we've said before, these feet are the horse's weapons, and they either know to fight or flight, meaning run. So you get them to give those feet, and when they give them right back to them, letting them know that they're not trying to take away their weapons, not trying to make them where they can't do what their natural instincts are. You notice that Gatlin's horse there in pin number 2, and he's just letting her get it out. She's going to get you to see how she settles down. He didn't jerk on her, didn't pull her around. He's trying to move her forward into something that's more productive. He wants her to be looking to him, so he's redirecting her to find him there in the center of the pen. And the reason they go to the center is that's kind of an escape route for the colt. It's a bigger area. You see how calm she is? Yep, and they would rather them go to the middle than try to jump out of that pen.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, that's not it. Oh yeah.
And again, after 3 days of working with the saddle under them for the first time, you know, they get sore. So they're getting them kind of used to that pinch and redirecting some of that energy to get something positive out of them. Taylor incorporating that tarp down there, and she wasn't wanting to have any part of it, but he's got her moving out good, feet have loosened up, he's got the boards in there, getting her to step over those. Now he's going to take her another direction.
In yesterday afternoon session, Taylor was working with the poles and with the tarps, trying to get the horse to step over them nice and easy, to think her way through. And those of y'all that were watching a little more astutely would have been paying attention to the horse's expression as she is moving around. And I'd encourage y'all to do that too. Is she relaxed? Is she thinking her way through or not? At first, they would be thinking about being somewhere else. But watch and see, is she thinking her way through? You want to see those expression changes? And with an obstacle or something like the tarp, that's obvious to see. The other two that don't have obstacles, if you look close, you can see the expression changes too. When are they getting more comfortable with something? Are they accepting it, or are they merely tolerating it?
I get the privilege of visiting with Mr. Brand down here on this, and we were talking about natural reaction from these colts is to please. They want to please whoever is working with them. But you've got to present it to them in a way that what you're asking them to do makes sense to them. And the more that it makes sense, the more they're willing to give. And again, it goes back to the trust between each individual and that colt. And, you know, they want to please so much that sometimes we as humans will shut that door on them, and we force them to plow through it anyway. Find a different way to present it, and you got to think outside the box. Not any two horses are going to be the same, and not any two trainers are going to be the same. There is always more than one right way. Clint getting the saddle on the gray down here in pin number 1. And she had some issues with moving out a little smooth, sticky feet. And so it's going to be interesting now when he gets the saddle on to see if she will move out freely. All right, we are 21 minutes into their hour. And again, if you're getting here a little late this morning, we're going to give them the hour, and we will start the competition after the second session. We will break for lunch, and we will start the competition at 1 sharp. 1 o'clock sharp is when we'll start the competition. Will be followed immediately by the auction. Gatlin. In the pin number 2 there is just putting a little weight in that stirrup, bouncing, letting her see where he up above and getting there. Clint, still working on the ground. Thank you, sir. She's moving out a lot smoother and quieter than she was yesterday with that saddle. She wanted to get away from it kind of. He worked through all that. Gavin's pulling her head around there to that side where she can see him. And again, that perspective is getting her a look at where he will be when he hits the saddle. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors, Coolhorse. Couldn't do it without them. And I mean, they jumped on board with this, and it has been tremendous. Also, Scotco sponsoring our judges. And we appreciate them and stepping up and helping out here at the 79th Annual Range Riders Rodeo. You know, they're trying a lot of different things here and trying to bring the rodeo back and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think they're headed in the right direction. I know they're headed in the right direction. Gatlin, he's up on her. He's got those soft cotton reins. You see down there with Taylor getting her to give and present the hindquarters. And again, it's all about getting these animals to be soft and supple. And they're sore. You know, they've been put through it, and they're handling it well. Taylor doing the same thing, pulling on that saddle, raising that foot up like he's going to get in the stirrup, just letting her know that that's going to happen now. See, she comes right down, he lets her come out of it. He's riding comfortably, not tensed up. Okay, Gatlin, what he did was he let her work through that. He didn't try to force her to stop doing what she was doing. He just let her kind of work her way through it, took her to a place where she felt safe. Now, me, you'd have been bringing the tractor in and working a big divot out of that pin there, pin number 2, where I hit the ground. That's why I'm talking and not out there training.
Steve just thought about to have the range rider give me a call, please. Hello.
Again, Clint trying to loosen up the feet a little bit, and just kind of pushing her around and moving her around. And as horse people, you know, we've always been told the right side, get on the right side. But ideally, you want to be able to get on and off your horse from either side, because you never know what kind of situation you're going to end up in, especially out in the give his head.
Inside,
She wanted to give it this way. He immediately changed up, pulled her back around. Real nice, soft on that way, but a little bit tight yet. Coming back to the left.
Okay. Thank you.
See how calm she is and Gavin, relaxed, letting her do, and he'll ask her to do certain things. Right there, he's wanting her to turn the end of the pin. See how she drops that head, just kind of relaxes for him. All right, we're 30 minutes into their hour. 30 minutes into their hour. Taylor moving his buckskin out and again letting her step across the boards, getting used to the obstacles and moving her feet through different things. And if you are just joining us, we want to let you know that as soon as this hour is up, we will switch the horses, bring in our next set of trainers. They have an hour. We will take a short break for lunch, come back at 1 o'clock sharp. It will start at 1 o'clock. That will be the finals competition, and that will be immediately followed by the auction of these fillies. Gavin's still got her moving out really nice, accepting everything that he's presenting to her. Taylor, what he's wanting to do here a little bit is maybe get her to give that head and step backwards, and if she'll just take one step backwards like that, he gives her that head back and lets her know, hey, that's great, you're doing good. It's not always about pushing the animal. It's not trying to force the animal. You need to reward them a little bit when they do what you've asked them to do. And again, like Mr. Brent said, if it's not working, find another way to present what you want done. Gabby's horse is really, really responding. Making the transition. Watch her when he slows her down to stop here. Picks it up a little bit. You remember just a few minutes ago when he was asking for that, she wanted to buck, but now she's just handling it well, taking it very, very well. Taylor getting ready to move outside of the pen. He feels comfortable enough that he can ride her out here. Gallon getting her to work around both ways. Clint down here, getting her to where she's got bend around to him. He wants that head given to him. Move those feet a little bit to get that presented. Little foot up in there. She's a little bit flighty. She's getting used to it. You also know these trainers, if they don't just bail right up in the saddle, they work to that position. They work to see where the colt is and what it's willing to take. He's got her to a point where he's kind of going to let her absorb and think on her a little bit about what he's been teaching her. Taylor coming down and bringing Buck through the poles and basically letting her pick her way, and it's a combination of she gives, he gives. Again, the auction that we're having this afternoon, raising money for the Will Rogers Range Riders Foundation and the WRCA Foundation. WRCA Foundation helps with scholarships and the Cowboy Crisis Fund. The Range Riders have a number of charities that they help in around Amarillo and Randall County. So not only can you own one of these great colts, you're helping a great cause. And Vic, correct me if I'm wrong, that is tax deductible. It is tax deductible. Taylor introducing her to the railroad ties, and a little hesitance, but he didn't push her. He let her do it on her own. He just went with her. Awesome. Again, Clint down here getting her to give that head and bring that neck around a little bit. Gallon, you see, he's doing the same thing, but it's on horseback. She's presenting that head, showing when he asks for it, bending real nice. Bless you. Gallon finding a good place to let her take a breather, him take a breather. Mr. Steve. All right, 20 minutes, guys. You got 20 minutes left. And on the first day, Mr. Brent explained that this is not a race, okay? It's just a matter of seeing and learning the colt. Who can do it the fastest. They got a time limit, but it doesn't have anything to do with what they're doing. It has to do with, we've got 6 of them and trying to get things done, so. Vic, come up here a minute. Now, we talked the first day on Thursday a little bit about there's actually 2 awards that they're going for. 2 awards, and the one is a highly coveted one.
Well, very special to us here in this area. We're also offering the Jim Wright Memorial Top Hand Award for this event. And if you ever knew Jim or got spending time with him, you know that probably have seen and been exposed to more great horses than any of us as an regional inspector for the AQHA. His wife was an avid horsewoman as well. And they live just south of us here, right there across the highway from Timber Creek Vet Clinic. Just a wonderful family and a member here. Jim loves to rope and do things and mess with good horses. And just an honor to be able to remember him with this event. He would have loved this. I'll be anxious to see the judge's decisions and which direction that goes later today.
Thank you, Vic. And again, you know, our Coolhorse sponsor, they're giving each one of our contestants a $500 gift certificate. And then I'm going to let Mr. Brent tell you about the awards and prizes that the others do get.
So you've got the Horsemanship Award and the Obstacle Course Award. The obstacle course, of course, is kind of plain and simple. How well did they get through the obstacle course? How did they get the horse prepared? The Horsemanship Award. How well did they get the horse prepared for the next step of life, the next set of rides? Did they use good judgment there in getting them prepared? Did they find a good place to quit them? Are they building to a continued success for that horse? Or are they pushing through something, now we've got the cleanup to do? So there's several different aspects here that they are being judged on. And you could not have better people to do the judging. These guys have more horse experience, more colt experience than probably the rest of us in this building all put together. Nothing but respect and admiration for our judges, so hats off to y'all.
Thank you very much. Plus, on top of all that, they get the bragging rights when they win. Yes, sir, they are good. It's like a resume.
One thing we'd like to point out, because we've been talking about it amongst ourselves for weeks, but you in the stands don't know that the challenge course is a separate event, as they mentioned, but not everyone has to go through the challenge course to win the horsemanship award. Some of these fillies had further to go when they came in, and these judges are watching them to see how far they bring them. Right, and what improvements that they make, or what changes they see in that filly. So they actually wouldn't even have to possibly get on to win the horsemanship award. So it's not all about the challenge course. In fact, it's what's right for the horse in the 5 sessions, probably more so than what goes on the challenge course.
Taylor has loosened up over there, found a good place to stop with her. Clint, he is doing well here, just kind of still getting her to be supple and soft and bend a little bit. Gatlin, she's doing everything that he's asking her to do. All right, I got 13 minutes left in this first hour. Gatlin bringing his filly outside into the big pen. Did this with her a little bit yesterday.
Heck yeah, are you guys doing the practice this year? Yeah, that's smart. Smart. Good.
You notice this filly right here that Gatlin's got, she's looking around and watching, but she's pretty calm. Head kind of down just a little bit. He's not jerking on her head. You know, that's the tendency that a lot of us have, is we're too heavy-handed. Letting her see things and think through it, letting her explore.
Absolutely.
It's that combination of give and take between the two. You ask them to give, and you give, and you work through that, and it just makes it smoother and great transition. And it usually works best when you give first.
Sorry about walking in front of you sometimes. I forget about you being there.
You know, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Brent, but you can tell a lot about a horse by their eye, and that eye that came by us just now, she's calm, she looks content all the time.
Her eye was soft and quiet, and I could tell a lot about their expression, about what's going on inside of them. The old saying, the eyes are window to the soul. Well, it is. Nor is eyes a window to the mind. The ear and the eye will tell you where the mind is.
Yes, sir. The way the horse is feeling on the inside, what's going on the inside of that horse is more important than what's going on the outside. It will show up and let you see. These colts are let you know, hey, this is what I'm willing to do, this is what I want to do, and then you find a way again, like we've talked about, showing them a way through that door, opening that door up, not just busting through it. You see this gray filly, Clint has taken everything off of her, but she's still watching him and knows where he is. That's showing you she's got trust.
There is a saying, cause your idea to become their idea. And we try to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of the times the way that that saying is interpreted is make them do whatever you want them to do. Cause your idea to become their idea. Maybe I need to understand their ideas first. Then can I present my ideas in such a way that it makes sense to them? Then it does become their idea.
You know, it's Clint just kind of squatting down against the panels, and that horse just moves right up there beside him. She's comfortable, relaxed. Taylor, he's untacking down there. The little buckskin watching him as well. 7 minutes. We've got 7 minutes. Do want to remind everybody that we're going to be switching out the horses, and we're going to do this quickly as we can, but the concession stand just right outside the east doors is open. They've got all kinds of stuff. The restrooms are down here, and food trucks out back, so you can grab you a snack, something to eat, and we'll bring in our second section.
Had to get up. You just had to stand up.
5 minutes, 5 minutes. Taylor gonna get up on the fence and you'll notice old Buck really watching. Clint's staying right there with him, and I mean, she is checking him out. Gavin has found a good stopping place. So curious, she's gonna pull that in there with her. But again, that right there proves what we've been talking about all week. Clint stood up and she knew immediately, hey, I must be doing something I'm not supposed to do. Because she backed off away from it. He didn't yell at her. He didn't flail at her. He just stood up and she was responding. Gatlin unsaddling, and I mean, she's just standing there watching him. And I don't know how many of you have been here to all 3 sessions, but it's amazing to see how far these guys have taken these fillies. 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we still got just about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes till the time is over. But all of our contestants are out of the pens. If you would, you've been very gracious. Give these guys a big round of applause, would you please?